Hi guys and welcome back to my channel Popcorn Reviews. I'm Farhad. If you're new to this channel then please smash that subscribe button now. And the film that we are going to be discussing today is the new Tamil film which is called Mark Anthony, which is now streaming on Amazon Prime. Now this film had created a little bit of a buzz during its theatrical release, and since then I had my eyes set on this film for its OTT release, and finally the OTT release has happened and I got my chance to watch Mark Anthony last night. So then how is Mark Antony as a film? Let's find out. So coming to the story and screenplay, Mark Antony is essentially a story of a protagonist who's a mechanic and he wants to know the truth about his father and how did he die. His father was supposedly a gangster, and one day he stumbles upon a telephone which can make calls to the past. Now the story here is instantly wacky and absolutely bonkers with its concept that is there. So there's a little bit of science fiction, little bit of humor, and it is also a gangster drama in between. And all this, so to say, a khichdi of sorts, is presented in the film Mark Anthony, and it weirdly makes sense at the end of the day as well. It is silly, it is frivolous, but it is guaranteed that you're going to have a wonderful time. You're going to have a entertaining outing while watching this film. Now, the screenplay standing at about 150 minutes, I felt was a tad too long. I mean, there were a few lags in the second hour which could have been trimmed for a crisper edit, and that would have made for a sharper watch as well. But taking nothing away from the drama, the concept itself was so hilarious that it absolutely made for a fun and entertaining watch. Now, the drama sets the tone early with that hilarious opening sequence featuring a scientist who is trying to, make an invention about a device which can make calls to the past, and that hilarious set of events just sets the tone for the drama to follow. It is hilarious and absolutely tonally correct, because the writers, I think, were very self aware of the kind of humor that they were trying to address. It was silly, it was frivolous, and they were very well aware of that fact and they played around with it. And that is something that absolutely clicked with Mark Anthony. Now, the proceedings are hilarious, especially with the world building that takes place featuring the protagonist. Now, one way to enjoy this film is that you have to completely surrender to the vision of the makers, because if you don't do that you may not enjoy it completely, given that there are many liberties that are taken. If you go in search for logic, then there's no logic in the film. It's absolutely crazy with its concept. It doesn't happen that way, even as a science student, if I'm talking. But if you are willing to surrender yourself to the vision of the filmmaker, then that is something that then starts working in your favor and you start enjoying the proceedings. And that is something that happens here. That entire sequence of the protagonist discovering the device, the telephone, was hilarious, and once he started making the calls it was hysterically funny. Now, the drama here is predictable. You will predict the kind of twist regarding the mystery of the father that was there. Having said that, the interval block sets up things nicely for the second hour to follow, with respect to the the glitch in the changes. If you make any change in the past, then it will have repercussions in the future, and that is something that is very well addressed here. But then there are a little lags in the second hour. Things start to get a little repetitive, and I think those sequences could have been trimmed. At least 10 to 15 minutes in the drama could have easily been trimmed off in the second half for a crisper and viewing, which would have had a better impact. But taking nothing away from the concept, it was a wacky concept and it was pulled off well. The sequence leading up to the final act is good, does make for an enjoyable watch. The final act is a little too simplistic, I would say. It's very simplistic, but the little, so to say, episode that was spun off right at the end, does promise that this might be a potential franchise in the making as well. So overall, the screenplay definitely leaves its mark. It is wonderful to watch. Now coming to the technical aspects, the dialogues, the music, and the direction. The dialogues go perfectly with the vibe of the film. They are crazy, wacky, and there's a sense of comedy to the lines that are there. The music is okay, it is decent, but some of the songs, they definitely hinder with the flow of the drama, and that is something that I did not personally like. The VGM is decent, the cinematography is very good, VFX is good given the budget of the film, it's not too high. So given that, it on and especially on OTT, it did make for a decent watch. It was good, it was fine. The editing was good, could have been sharper in the second hour. I think the second hour was something that could have been a little tighter, I would say, but otherwise there was no complaints from the technical department. Director Adhik Ravichandran, I think he did a wonderful job. He understood the subject very well and he just played around with it, creating moments, creating that world building, creating those traits, creating those hilarious moments that were there. And that is something that I think he did a fabulous job as well as a director. Coming to the performances are good. There were a few actors that are underutilized, like Ritu Verma or Abhinaya, or even for that matter Sunil. They were underutilized a bit. Selva Raghavan, I think, made an impact in that little role that was there. But the two stars of the show are Vishal and SJ Suryah. Vishal definitely plays his dual roles brilliantly well. There is a touch of innocence and a touch of swagger to his performances, the twin performance that was there. But SJ Surya absolutely understood the script to the T, and his over the top antics were absolutely spot on with the tone of the drama. I felt he was hilarious in both his roles, and I think he did a wonderful job. I think he was fabulous to watch. His comic timing was on point, and his antiques were absolutely something else. It was wonderful to witness. So overall, Mark Anthony definitely is a wacky kind of a comedy, and it definitely left me in splits most of the times. I think I had a good time while watching the film. It is silly, it is frivolous, but it is entertaining at the end of the day. And the film is available on Amazon Prime. Do check it out. If you've already watched it, let me know your thoughts on the same, and let me know what did you make of the film in the comment section. If you're liking this video, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, press that bell icon, share this video with your friends and family. Any little help helps a small creator like me. Also, if you'd like to read my full review of Mark Anthony, the link of which is in the description box below on my site, Popcorn Reviews with a double S. Also follow me on different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Letterboxd. I do not end up making a video on everything that I watch, but I do write a lot. All information is present on my site, Popcorn Reviews with a double S, and on my social media handles. I'll see you again very soon with another video. Probably it's going to be Leo on Friday, probably if I get the tickets, hopefully, or on Thursday. Let's see, whenever I get time to watch it. But till then, take care of yourselves, and thank you so much for your love and support. Cheers.